Hi everyone, Happy New Year to all of the cross stitch community. I'm Heather Miller, here the Mirror Image Stitcher. Welcome to my channel about cross stitch. I just finished filming all about my December stitching, Christmas stitching, and now I want to film my cross stitch plans for 2026. Today is December 31st, and I'm winding up the year and thinking about what I want to do for the new year. And I feel like I just need to have some sort of a plan. It doesn't feel good to me to kind of pick out something new every single day. And yet I don't want to have such a plan for a lengthy time that if I want to, shake it up a bit, that I can. So this plan is going to be for the first 2 months of the year, just for January and February. Those are winter months here in Southern Alberta, Canada. And I mean, as far as, because there's probably March, but March, I'm going to start some spring stuff. But for the months of January and February, I'm considering anything winter or anything Christmassy, I'm going to continue to work on. Other than that, let's just get started into it. So my first one that I want to show you is Reflections of Canada. It is an ink circles design. I started this July 1st of 2025. I was working on Lugana, and I was doing it one thread over one fabric thread, one floss over one fabric thread, and I made a mistake, and in trying to frog it, it was not working. So I decided I didn't really like the fabric, and the one over one, I just didn't like it, and I decided to restart it. So in the beginning of November, I did restart this. It is on Lugana. An Ada. Loops and Threads Ada. It's an 18 count. And I've started it directly in the middle. This is a Roxy, Leo and Roxy, or Roxy Floss Co. Roxy Floss Co. like an overdyed. It's called 11 points. So that's where I'm starting, and I'll be working on that the first of every month. The next one is called Teddy Bear Parade, and this is the one I'm going to be working on the 4th of every month. This is what it looks like when it's done. It is in the For the Love of Cross Stitch magazine, July 1990. I started this on July 4th of 2025. I do park threads, so you're going to see that, but that's where I've gotten. I'm working on the second teddy bear there. Frankly, I'm leaving some of the American flag there because that's the funnest part of it all. And so I'm trying to not get it all done. I want to leave some of the good parts for the end. So that's what I want to work on the 4th of every month. The next one I want to work on is my Leap Year Sal pattern that I've chosen. It is called Susanna Walker, 1848, and it's by Modern Folk Embroidery. And what I did is I broke up the pattern into 48 parts, and I'm doing one part every month, and then I should be done in February of 2028. And I think I was a little bit ahead, and so I actually didn't work on this in December, but I will pick up and start doing my monthly part again in January. It seems like I count, and then I'm like, oh, I'm ahead, and I count. I'm like, no, maybe I'm right on time, and I know we'll just see when we get to the end how close we are to the end, how where I'm at, but I feel like I am 1 or 2 parts ahead. Next is I'm doing Santa Forest Friends. I will show you quickly in case you didn't see the last part, the last video. This is what it looks like. It is from a Leisure Arts magazine. I had taken out the pattern and threw away the rest of the magazine, so I don't know the issue or the year. But it's by Sandy Gore Evans, charted by Cooler Design Studio, I believe. And it's a very detailed, highly shaded pattern. And I'm planning to just work on this. I can only work on it during the day and like about an hour at a time. And so I'm sectioning off little parts of the pattern and just literally stitching it row by row back and forth so that I don't make any mistakes. I'm hoping to get that one done, maybe not this year, but like in about 15 months. I'm hoping that I can work on it enough every month that if I kind of grid it out into 15 parts, whatever I have left, that I can get that done in about 15 months. I'm hoping. The next one that I'm planning to work on, I'm going to be going back and forth because I had too much in front of me. And so I'm just going to grab it now. But this is the Winter Wonderland Sal by Blueberry Ridge Designs, their mystery sal that they put out starting November 30th every Sunday for Advent towards Christmas. And so I'll get that now. And I will be working on this one until I get it completed. So once I finish those 3, I'm going to work on this one till I get it completed. There's the rest of the house. There's like a little snowman, another tree, I think, on this side, and then a border that goes across the bottom. But otherwise, then it'll be done. So that's what I'm doing there. Now, should I get this one completed, I'm going to work on the next one, which is a Fibers and Floss Canada pattern that she gave out for free last Christmas. I'll just show you where I'm at. You've just seen this if you watched my last video. But I really think that I can get this done within the next 2 months, those 2. So that's what I want to work on next. Now, should I get the second one done, then I am going to be doing this one. This is Christmas Boughs, and it is by, it's from the Punch Needle and Primitive Stitcher magazine, Wild Violet Cross Stitch, Ryan Mack, I think it is. This is where I'm at, and it's just like a little tree like that with a little stem there. It wouldn't take much. I just have to put it in a hoop because it's 36 count. And so I just need it kind of stretched so that it's easier to count the threads of the fabric as I stitch. So that's pretty big plans, but I'm really hoping that I could get those 3 done in the next 2 months to kind of just ease off some of my whips. And have some actual finishes done. So that's what I would like to do there. Now, as I'm working to complete those, the odd time, if I have a day where I'm sort of sick of working on anything, the next thing I want to do is this. I started the Blueberry Ridge Designs sampler seasons. There's an autumn, winter, spring, and summer. And I started them on a 40 count fabric. I have been really struggling with this. I need to do it during the day. Putting it in a hoop has helped. And so whenever I'm sick of working on something, just for a day, just as a palette cleanser for an hour or so, well, I wouldn't do it for an hour. If I'm going to pick this up, I'll do it for the day. But usually if I just pick something else up, it just rejuvenates me enough to go back and keep plugging away at something to get it finished. So this is what I would work on. I am trying to keep all 4 of these going very actively in their season, because it's 40 count and I don't know how much longer my site is going to be able to hang out on this. And I really would like these finished. They're a really very sweet patterns. And I have just used flosses from my stash. And so if I need a day of rest of something else, that's what I'm going to be picking up on. Okay. So I watch Kelly's Quilts Plus. She's a gal from British Columbia, Canada. And she has a YouTube channel. And she does quilting as well as cross stitch. And she came up with something that she's going to do for the year. And it's called Where I Live. It's an acrostic. So what you do is you pick words about where you live or some resemblance of that. And then each letter in those words is what you you attribute to a project, and then you work on something. So I have picked the following words, which are places where I've lived. So I live in Taber, Alberta. I've lived in Lethbridge, Alberta, Calgary, Drumheller. I've picked the word Alberta, and I picked the word Canada. And if you add up all those letters, it comes out to 45 letters. And so then I'm like, okay, all I need is something that's a 7-letter word. Well, if you look at the word XStitch, that's 7 letters. That's what we love to do, our passion. And so you add those up, you got 52 letters to account for 52 weeks of the year. So I will be starting that acrostic on January 5th. And at any time, I am just going to be plugging in whatever I've got going on here that will attribute to that. Like, for example, T would be my first letter for in Taber. So the week of January 5th, somewhere in there, I want to work on something that has associated with the letter T, and that would be Teddy Bear Parade. So that would be an example. And then I'm just going to go through every week. The next week it would be A. So I'm going to work on something that would attribute. And I will definitely pick anything here that I'm doing that would match up or meet that requirement of that acrostic. If I can plug any of this stuff in, even if I have to really stretch it to make it work, that's what I want to do. And then at the end of February, I will be able to pick maybe some new ones or be able to slot in some other projects as I finish things. So I'm really looking forward to that. If you have any more questions about that or you want to play along, please contact Kelly. If you go to her YouTube channel, which I'll put a picture of here, she's would be one of her last videos. She explains how to do it and then how you can contact her if you want to play along, or she just wants to know if people are playing along is really all it is. That way she just knows who's, kind of on board with the Where I Live acrostic, which I thought was a great idea. Now, my last little, not my last little game. I am part of the monthly magazine Facebook group, and I've always thought that was such a great idea to get us to do, to work on our magazine pieces. I had considered and had actually picked out 12 patterns from magazines, generally my old magazines, For the Love of Cross Stitch, which was evident in the 90s and 2000s. And I had, I think 10 of them picked out because I have like a Christmas one going already and so on. I'm going to reach down. If I feel like I want to start this in January, this is what I might start. But otherwise, I am going to be doing the Santa's for His Friends, which is a monthly, which is a magazine piece. And I probably am really going to try to post a picture at least, like say twice in the month of my progress on that thing in that group. I really like it. And I think it would be a great way to just connect to keep me going on my magazine pieces. If I feel inclined to start this, only because if I have the floss in DMC, I'm not buying anything, and I already have this fabric, I might start this. So this is For the Love of Cross Stitch, March 1999, and it's this snowman. I do like snowmen, and I have several. I was going to do a whole video on snowmen. I never got around to the ones I've done. Not that I've done that many, but I would like to increase people talk about a wall of red samplers, a wall of whatever. I would like to have a wall of snowmen. And so this is what I would like to do. And I actually have, this is an angel, which is another one in the series, and this is the Santa. But I would like to do this snowman for sure. It is, what is it? Okay, it is 35 wide and 175 high. And I did buy a piece of gray 32 count. It's actually called Charcoal Lagana. And I'm going to see if I can stitch on it. I don't know. It's dark. I'm going to have to use a hoop and it may not work. And if it doesn't, then I'm not sure what I'm going to do. But I might give it a shot. I might not. I might just concentrate on what I'm doing, and this could be a plan for next year. I just don't want to overwhelm myself. And right now, the thought of starting this would be very overwhelming when I already have so much on the go. But there it is. I thought I would even just show you some of these old cross-stitch patterns that I just think are wonderful and would really like to try. The last thing that I wanted to show you was I was watching Jessie Marie Does Stuff. She is the brainchild behind Whip Go, and she started a new game, and it's called Milestone Manor. And she has an entire video on it. And so I'm not going to go through those details, but I'm just going to go through a little bit of how I'm going to make her great game work in my stitching life. So I just went online until I found a picture of a floor plan house that I thought was kind of cool in that it had lots of rooms. She's just done a floor plan of her house, and anything you want to do would work well. So anyway, this is the picture on the outside. I'm like, if I had anything in the world, this would be like such a cool home to live in. So that's what I picked. And this is the floor plan of the main floor of the house. Now, the idea behind this is I have a lot of whips that are full coverage that require a lot of stitching. They have tens of thousands of hundreds of thousands of stitches in them. And I wanted to be able to begin to chew some off. Something that I could do that would just put in some, but also not something that has to be done in 30 days or something that has to be done every month or whatever. This is the great idea about this game, is that you start, you get your first however much you're supposed to stitch, and you stitch on it till you complete that. Does it take 2 weeks, 6 weeks, whatever? But you don't go on. The game is at your own pace, and you stitch on it as you go. So, without explaining it all, this is how I'm going to work it. This is the front veranda. So tomorrow, I will start on the front veranda. I believe there's 15 rooms plus the hallway. So I basically have to go into a room and then out to the hallway, into a room and then out the hallway. So I have picked 15 projects and put them on cards. The hallway card, I know I wanted to work on a particular full coverage. It's called African Woman. I'll put a picture here because I would like to get the most of my stitches for 2026 into that project. And so every time I go into the hallway, I will work on that project. The other I put on, they were on, like recipe cards. I wrote out the name of the pattern project on 15 recipe cards. Then I put the names of the rooms on envelopes. Okay. So like, for example, front veranda and so on. You'll see that's the study, etc., or foyer. It would be the next one. So you're going to go around. I'm going to start on the front veranda. Then I'm going to go into the foyer. And then I would work my way around the house. She has some different rules. They're all how you think it's going to work for you. This is what will work for me. I took the envelopes and I took the recipe cards. I gave them to my husband. I said, mix them all up, put them in the envelope, and then just close the envelope. So I don't know what projects are in each of these rooms. I will only know them as I open them. So January 1st, I will be entering the front veranda, which will be the start of the game. There's a bunch more things to it. I am not a gamer. I don't play video games, but I have kids that play. And so I have a general idea of like hit points or health points or things like that, how to defeat your whip. Okay. So I have a general knowledge of that a little bit. I can grasp the concept. And so I was able to, I ordered quickly on Amazon these dice. So there's some dice you need. There's a 20-sided dice. There's a 12-sided dice. There's this 10-10s dice that you need. And then a 4-sided dice that you need. And by rolling these dice, that helps you navigate the math equations, simple math equation to figure out how many stitches you have to do. So basically, starting tomorrow, I will open the front veranda. I will roll the dice. It will help me to know how many stitches I have to put. Once I complete the stitching, then I have a list of milestones. That's why the game's called Milestone Manor. You're working your way through a house and you're trying to hit milestones. Now, she's given a wonderful list of all the milestones that you could potentially reach. Those help you to get health points back or defeat the whip, or just different parts. You read the rules. She's laid it out excellently. It's easy to understand. Now the milestones, I've got her nice list, plus I might add some to it because not all of my whips are full coverage on Pattern Keeper where it can tell me how many stitches I've done or so on. So things like, finishing a motif, finishing one side of a border, finishing all of a border, like some of those kind of things. You want the milestones to be obtainable, but yet also a bit challenging. So I think as I go along, when I open this up, I will see what pattern it is. I will look through the milestones, make sure there isn't anything that I could add that would be unique to this pattern, add it to my milestone list, and then stitch or like figure out, roll the dice, know how many stitches I have to do, and then complete that, and then work my way through. She has a really nice diagram that you just follow. What did you do? Did you make it? Did you not? And so on. You just literally follow the decision tree. It's fantastic. And I thought this would be a great way. So maybe I don't get all the stitching done. Maybe it takes me till the 10th of February to get this done. Perfect. Once I've got the stitching done, I go through the decision tree and then I can move forward and I play the game. I thought this was a fantastic idea. I'm really on board with this. I thought it was great. And then it has potential to keep going because I also have an upper, in this particular floor plan that I printed off, it had an upstairs, and so I can work my way upstairs as well. She's got some great print-offs that you can use to help you keep track of things. And then I've, of course, got to have a paper listed out of all my milestones. So I'm looking forward to working this idea that she's come up with. I think it's a brilliant idea. And I just really like it because, again, there's no time constraint. You work it as you go. But if you're committed to doing it, you will move forward in progress of your different projects. So that's my plans for at least the first 2 months of 2026. Thank you for listening. I look forward to other people's. I see a lot of people are putting out separate videos for their 2026 plans, and I enjoy those just as much as the whip rates because it does spark other ideas of what else I can do. That kind of makes it fun to work towards goals in our stitching, if that's what you choose to do. Anyways, thank you for listening. Thank you for spending some time with me, and wishing you all the best in 2026, and look forward to talking with you again. See you. Love you. Bye.